TitleMatchNetwork.com.
You never really worked Memphis for Jared at all, did you?
No, I went in there off of TBS to work with, when you were the champion, you went in to have to wrestle their guy, right? And usually you had two choices. You go now get disqualified or I win. I mean, it's simple.
Right.
So Jared had, he would have these unbelievable people with unreal names that couldn't go 10 minutes, much less an hour. So it was fucking hard.
Right.
But I liked Jarrett, okay? Lawler's from the Flim Flam school of Ric Flair. They're the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Lawler has made his niche on his own, and hats off to him. Tremendous. You know, but you gotta watch him. You know what I mean? You gotta watch him Rossing them guys, man. You can turn your back. Whoa, I got how many holes I got in my back. So,
right.
But you persevere, I believe is the word, and you get through it. So.
Do you want to talk about Jim Ross at all, or no?
Who?
Jim Ross.
Jim Ross is cool, man. I mean, you know, Jim. God, he's talented. You know, he lived his dream because he always wanted to book or be involved in the booking and creative aspect.
Right.
That's what I said. Enemy wise to say the word. He was trying to get my job or knocking me every day, every single fucking day. Never let my friendship go. I liked him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He knows when to kiss ass. He knows when not to. But he is talented. And if you were going to start a company, he would be a guy, but you would have to know where he was.
Right.
And he would have to know, don't use these dusty finishes, you know what I mean? Or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? So there's a level of respect I have for him in the industry. Outside of it, away from where he doesn't have to compete against me, we were friends to the point of drinking beer, talking football, and I really enjoyed being around him, you know. But we all have our bad side, you know what I mean? And some people take care of themselves more than others. Maybe I should have. Maybe that's my downfall of the industry was maybe I took care of all the other people when it looked like I was taking care of myself. And I should have said, I want to be what Hogan is. I want to be on all the shows. I want to do all these things. I could have really went crazy with it. And they would have really been talking about me today, but at least they're talking.
And you made lots of money with Rock and Roll Feud with Midnights. What are some of your memories on Jim Cornette and Midnights?
We took a page out of Memphis. And I'd already done it with the Starcade and the Boogeyman Jam. I said, let's use videos to see if we can get these guys over. Not working on TV on a 5-minute match to get over. You know what I mean? A get over match.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's use videos before they come. Bring them right in, put them right on time, and see what happens. Video. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Them against the Russians. 40 minutes later, in one match on TV, they took the titles. Rock and Roll Express. I remember drinking beer. That wasn't me. I wasn't involved in that match. See, that goes back to the ego. Dusty was on top. They went bam. It was like the Beatles. So we had not, in my reign, done $100,000 in Charlotte, North Carolina Coliseum to that point. You know, over 100, 130 or whatever. And I put them with the Russians there by themselves. Me and Flair and Tully and everybody went down to some other fucking town, right? We did $15,000, right? We did $130,000, man. You couldn't get in the building. The Andersons then came against them. But the mix for them was Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express.
Right.
That was their niche. That was their guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like me with Funks and with Harley, with Flair and Kevin Sullivan. They were that was my guys. You know what I mean? That was my niche.
Right.
And it was like a traveling road show. These are the guys I'm going to work with. And their matches were phenomenal. And they drew unreal money. But they were so great at 20, 30, 40 minutes to where you really believe that this was happening. And that's really what we dealt in back then is believability, for you to believe that this was a shoot. And sometimes it would be but to believe that. And now we've changed, except for what I said earlier about the other night being with some new kids that kind of understand that. And I think it's, even if they don't, they acted like they did. They did it out of respect for me and out of respect for Paulie or when they see me. But I really think they were sincere when they see me because they were students of the game. It's like that. So yeah, they were great. Midnight was great. Cornette was greatest manager in our business.
How would you compare him with Paul?
I was going to get to Paul, but Gary Hart was the first guy that I had. And I thought Gary Hart, for the area he was in, Florida and Texas and everything, was the best. Okay,
right.
Then J.J. Dillon was damn good in a different way. Okay, but as far as you hated, I mean, these two guys, you wanted to strangle these two guys. You know, chicken dick guys with Paulie Dangerously and Jim Cornette, and right away you knew how creative they were. But man, they had 2 guys apiece, 4 guys apiece that could work their ass off. That would happen. They had timing. I think Cornette had a little edge on Paulie because of the talent he had to use at the time. So that's where he would get the edge. But they were by far the 2 most, what do you call it in the old days, a weasel, like managers.
Right.
That you just said, man, this guy's mama gives him everything that he has. And the old man over here says, nah, that's not fake. That's fake. They don't really have a mama that rich. That's bull. Yeah, at home, you say this guy has not done nothing to deserve what even going out there. So they captivated their niche or their business because of their talent. And yeah, I think the guys that were with, Cornette at different times were a little bit better workers per se, or it was a niche again. He had been around him so long. He was the Midnight Express. For Paulie had a lot of guys, and when we created the Dangerous Alliance with Rhodes and guys, he really had an opportunity there he was showcased with some big guys.
Did you see
TitleMatchNetwork.com